Welcome to episode 15 of the Rise Fitness and Nutrition Podcast. I am your favorite host, Carlo. Today we are talking about rapid fat loss. And what tools do you need to actually have a sustainable rate of fat loss that will give you results in the long term? Stay tuned to find it out. Happy listening. Summer is here. Aren't you happy? It has been a tough year for everybody. And now that the sun is finally coming out, hopefully for the longer term, it's also the season for the summer shred or the lose 20 kilos in 1 month or whatever else that the fitness industry marketing and the supplement marketing pushes forward to kind of hook you up into losing some weight the quickest ways possible. Or on the other hand, pack them muscles as much as you can in 2 weeks or less. Now, point being said, I am not against having goals in terms of, say, losing body fat or packing muscles. I am against giving a very short term because our body doesn't react that quickly to any of these strategies, whether you want to lose weight or you want to pack muscles. But specifically, if you want to lose weight, yes, there are some things you can do to lose weight very fast. But it's not sustainable in the long term. First. Secondly, the moment you stop following those silly ideas, you get all those kilos or the pounds back. And most of the time, you also get an extra percentage of it back. And that's not cool, given the efforts that you might have put in the first place. I know. Now you might be wondering, Carlo, how can I lose fat fast? Tell me, I need to know. Well, you want to hear the easiest way? Fine. If you want to lose fat very fast, here is what you need to do. Stop eating. Yeah, but don't resume, because the moment you eat again, you'll get it back. I know it's stupid, isn't it? And one way or the other, it is what the quick fat loss solutions tell you. They simply tell you to stop eating. Well, not entirely, of course, but they force you to stop eating your normal foods and they put you in a very aggressive, most of the time ridiculously aggressive, calorie deficit. And if on one hand it does help you to lose fat very fast, and generally speaking you lose body weight very fast, on the other hand, it puts you in a very difficult place because the restrictions you have are extreme and that is not sustainable in the long term. It is not good for your mental health. It is not good for the relationship you might develop with food, looking at food only in terms of numbers or looking at food as in an enemy, something that will make me fat. And that's stupid. And ultimately, once you finish the whatever days you are expected to have in these quick fat loss protocol, you start eating normally, or since you have had very strong restrictions, you might go back and just eat everything that you have been craving for the past weeks, with the result that, first of all, you'll get the weight back, usually pretty fast. Secondly, you'll feel terrible, because you have been losing weight and all of a sudden you gain all the weight back. Third, you might say, well then, I cannot just do it. And that's counterproductive, isn't it? One thing is common in all those BS protocols, and it is calorie deficit. Now, you want to lose weight, you have to be in calorie deficit. And there's no way around it. And we have to agree on this. Now, the calorie deficit that you might need for you and yourself only might not be necessarily something that works for someone else with a complete different body measurement and body stats. I, for instance, would never have to have the same calorie deficit of a person that's like 2 meters tall and is 120 kilos of muscles, because his calorie deficit probably will be a calorie surplus for me. And vice versa, if this person has the same calorie deficit I might apply on my body, I am 172 centimeters and 72 kilos, if this person applies my calorie deficit for him, it probably could be not sustainable because too low. So whenever you see any type of diet, any type of program, any type of fad that tells you, oh, you need to eat only 1200 calories, this is the first red flag. Because everybody's different. So there's no program that tells you had to eat these calories and then this works for everybody. Keep that in mind, first thing. Secondly, what do these type of plans want you to do? Do they want you to go through a detox phase? Or do they want you to eat only exclusively specific type of foods? Or cut completely entire categories of food? These are other red flags, because they're forcing you, mostly probably, to buy some BS products such as detox tea, or maybe they are basically telling you that some categories of food are bad for you because they're gonna make you fat, which is, again, not entirely true. Well, reasonably, if you eat a ton of ice cream every day, a kilo of ice cream every day, if you eat cheesecake for lunch and for dinner, well, maybe that is not the smartest idea ever if you want to lose weight in a sustainable way and having your right macronutrients. But there's nothing wrong, per se, in having some ice cream and some desserts from time to time during your diet. So next time you open a post on Instagram or a clickbait page, read through the article and find these things. Because most of the time, again, it's just stop eating this entirely and get this detox session first and get this magic powder second and maybe this pill and then boom, you're done. You're slim. It's stupid. So don't fall for this. You are way smarter than this. And the reason why I'm saying this is that you're listening to this podcast. Now, no, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that you're smarter because you want to understand. And I'm here to explain you, so you are way smarter than those cheap tricks that those companies put on you. Okay? That being said, if any of your friends comes and tells you, oh, I found this supplement XYZ, and it's great, I've been using this fat burner or this powder or this detox or whatsoever to aid my weight loss, my fat loss, my whatever loss they have, and they kind of suggest you to get that, sorry, that's not a good friend. So tell them to avoid that, tell them to stop wasting their money and your time and their time, and do something different that I'm going to explain you now. If you want to change your body composition, if you want to lose fat in a sustainable way, as I said before, you need to be in calorie deficit. Now, before you jump towards the fridge and look at food with angry eyes, especially like cheese or other things that you love, but they make me fat, stop. The right type of calorie deficit you want to have is according to a formula. What I'm about to give you is the amount of daily calories you should aim for every day. Now, if you want to have fat loss, take your current body weight and multiply that by 26.4. And that will give you the total amount of calories per day you should achieve to go in a gradual calorie deficit that will ultimately be sustainable and give you the fat loss you desire over the course of time. And that is to say, if you're measuring your weight in kilograms. If you're measuring your weight in pounds, take your current body weight and multiply that by 12. So you're gonna have the amount of calories you might need daily to lose weight. Or if you want to know your maintenance calories, take your body weight in pounds and multiply that by 15. Either way, this number is not 100% strict. Take this as a range, so plus minus 10%, it's fine. Don't obsess too much. What I would like you to work on is to be consistent to hit those numbers. Now, how do you divide the calories inside that? Well, that is another matter. As I always say, focus on protein first. So eat your protein and eat a lot of protein per day because protein will keep you full, first. Secondly, will help you maintain your muscle mass. Third, they are essential for your body. So focus on protein first and figure out the calories from the protein you should eat every day. And then when it comes to carbohydrates and fats, just play around eating whatever you prefer. But be sure that you are within the plus minus 10% range of the number you have figured out before. The last numbers I want to give you today is that if your weight is in pounds, approximately 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight should be enough. If your body weight is in kilograms, I would say at least 1.5 grams of protein per kilo of your body weight. At least. That means that if you eat more, it's good. Approved. And that has to be daily. And there's no way around it. And I guarantee, I swear to you, that if your consistency is at least 70% every month, at least, that means better if it is higher, 80%. But if you have at least 70% consistency hitting your calories and hitting your macros daily over the course of the month, you will see results. Now, the lower your consistency, the slower your progress. Okay, that's one thing. You don't need to go 100% because 100% is difficult sometimes to achieve and it's difficult to maintain because we all have a life. We all have things that happen. So I'm not saying that you have to be strict. I'm just saying that at least 70% is manageable. And then don't freak out if you go out with your friends. It's fine. But what I want you to be very clear about is that you have to be consistent. There's no way around it. If you tell me that these numbers don't work, I want you to prove it. And by saying so, it means that I want you to show me your consistency over the course of at least 30 days. And I swear, most of the time, me included, I'm saying me included, we think we are consistent. We think we are doing everything by the book, but we are not. So the only way for you to figure it out is to take a calendar and mark every day that you have been hitting your calories and your macros. If you don't do that, you cannot say that it doesn't work. And I know it sounds harsh. It's a dirty job, but somebody's gotta do it. If you want to achieve results, you have to track it. And otherwise, we are just talking about the weather, which I hate talking about the weather. So what do you think? Are you up for the challenge? How ready, willing, and able are you to take this matter in your hands and crush it? Because ultimately, it's about you, right? I will never ever point my finger at you and force you to do something because that's stupid. Ultimately, you have to decide for yourself. If you are looking for a change, then I'm here to help, but I will show you the way, and I am more than happy to explain you everything 1,000,000 times, as many times as it is necessary. But I will not sit down and feed you. And that should be the thing, that should be clear to everybody. Every change you want to achieve comes from within you. And it doesn't matter how many times you see other people having results if you don't take the first step towards changing a habit. And I want to give you the tools and I want to explain them to you. And I have been through this process myself, so I'm not just saying stuff that I have studied, stuff that I learned, but that I never tried. I did this myself, and it works. So the only matter is that it takes time and dedication. Ask yourself one question. Am I ready? Now I do know it sounds difficult, but believe me, it is not the end of the world. Results can be achieved. You just have to put a little bit of effort in it. But hey, good things come for those who work on it, right? I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. If you like this, it would be super helpful if you could share this with your friends and family. Thank you for listening. Happy rest of the week.